The plan was written in a quieter state. Before fatigue had a voice, numbers placed with intention, not guessing, knowing what it would take. You understood the cost, the distance, the effort, where it would hurt, where it would fade. Still you wrote it down. Now the run feels heavier, breath shorter than expected. The mind starts questioning what was decided earlier. The version of you that knew is still there, not loud or not present, but certain of what you chose. Fatigue arrives right on time, exactly where you predicted. Nothing surprising, just the plan unfolding as expected. Anyone can doubt in the moment, but clarity belongs to the one who wrote it. The version of you that knew understood this part. Not easy, not smooth, but necessary to continue. You didn't guess, you knew, and still you chose this run. The version of you that knew trusted this process, and now it's your turn to follow through. You knew before this moment. The plan was clear before the run, written in calm without resistance. Numbers placed with quiet confidence, no fatigue in that moment, just structure waiting to be followed. Now the road feels heavier, stride shorter than expected. Breath arrives too soon, the body questions what the mind already agreed to. It always happens right here when the effort starts to matter. The mind suggests small changes, small exits. Don't rewrite now, not here, not when it hurts. This isn't the moment to change the plan you decided earlier when it was quiet. The middle mile sighting everything, breath sharp and stride narrows. The watch continues indifferent, the plan still stands. Anyone can adjust once, but discipline holds when the easier path appears. Don't rewrite now, stay with it through doubt, through fatigue. Not perfect, not smooth, just honest to what you chose. The hardest part is not the run, it's trusting the version of you that wrote it. Don't rewrite now, finish it as it was planned, and something builds quietly inside. The plan is the runner remains. The session was written when it felt possible. Numbers placed without resistance. Pace decided in a calm mind. No fatigue, no doubt, just a plan on the screen. Now the track feels different. Legs heavier than expected. Breath arrives earlier than planned. The body questions what the mind already chose. Anyone can plan when it's easy, but the run asks later when everything feels harder. but it changes soon. Fatigue arrives without warning. The mind suggests small changes. Just ease a little, just this once. The negotiation begins. The line you don't break holds the run. Not speed, not strength, but the decision made earlier when everything was still cold. The middle miles tighten everything. Breath shortens, stride narrows. The watch continues indifferent. The line remains unchanged. Anyone can adjust once, but discipline refuses when the easier path appears. The line you don't break defines the runner, not the pace, not the distance, but the moment you choose to stay with it. No one sees this line, but every runner knows where it is. The line you don't break builds something quiet, lasting beyond one run. Beyond one day. The run ends, the line remains. Track under early light, lane still empty. The session written on the watch. Intervals waiting patiently. No crowd here, no finish tape. Just distance divided into effort. The first rep always feels easy. The body curious about the rhythm. Stride finding old mechanics. Breath control, the road still negotiable. But training is one moment, not 1 mile, not one surge. Progress arrives slowly, rep by rep, rep, rep by rep. The runner builds not loudly, not quickly, just effort stacked carefully until the legs learn again. Again. The middle reps ask harder questions. Fatigue begins its argument. Stride tightens, breath sharpens. The watch still counting. Speed is easy once discipline. When quitting would be simpler. Rep by rep, the runner stays through doubt, through fatigue, through small battles. No one sees the work continues. The last rep never looks pretty, but it teaches the most. Rep by rep, the runner grows, not perfect, not heroic, just returning to effort again and again and again. The track empties, but the work remains.
race results still exist somewhere. Archive splits from another version of me. Light legs, easy breathing, miles open without negotiation. People said you're fast. Back then, I believed them. Now the watch tells a calmer story. Pace adjusted, stride reconsiderate. Recovery days appear more often. Longevity entered the conversation. The road feels longer these days. Sometimes someone mentions an old race, old numbers, old pace, and I laugh a little. Fast once, apparently that's what the results say. Some younger runner with my name ran those miles, not today, but still part of me. The younger runner chased records today. I chase staying miles that stretch through years, not seconds. Consistency became the goal. Speed fades quietly, but the road remains, and runners keep returning. Apparently the numbers remember, even when the legs prefer patience. Maybe speed was never the real story. Maybe showing up was. Fast once apparently, but still running today, and somehow that feels like the better result. The road ahead doesn't ask for proof. Not every pace arrives quickly. Some rhythms take years. Morning miles without witnesses, evening runs after long days that watch your records. But the road knows more. Years ago I chased numbers, split times felt urgent, but distance changes ambition. Longevity adjusts the rhythm. Speed was loud, but patience lasts longer. Some runners rush improvement, others let miles teach slowly. Progress rarely shouts. A pace built slowly doesn't break, it grows through repetition, through quiet miles, through ordinary days, until the stride becomes home. Recovery became training, holding back became wisdom. Progress hides inconsistency in showing up when nothing does. demands it. Anyone can run fast once, but building pace takes patience. Years, not weeks. A pace built slowly, moves deeper, not louder, not rushed, just steady through seasons, through distance, through time. Speed impresses, patience endures. Speed impresses. A pace built slowly outlasts. Records outlasts moments and carries a runner farther. Miles past, years past, the pace remained. The watch still measures every mile. Numbers appear without emotion. Once they were faster, easy to claim. Now the road asks patience. The body negotiates with distance. Stride adjusted, breath steadier. Years pass quietly through training cycles, intervals, long runs, ordinary mornings. Speed changed, but something refused to disappear. Not the speed of youth, not the reckless early miles, but another rhythm learned slowly through staying. The speed that stayed is quieter, not chasing seconds, not proving anything, just knowing how to move through miles that matter. The younger runner rushed the road today. I read it, fatigue, terrain, breath, signals once ignored. Longevity rewrites success, speed fades, experience remains. And the road recognizes both. The speed that stayed lives inside every decision, every adjustment. Not louder, not faster, but wiser through distance. Some speed belongs to you. Some speed belongs to patience. Some speed belongs to you. Some speed belongs to patience. The speed that stayed is not measured by the watch, but by the miles still waiting ahead. The numbers changed, but the runner didn't stop. Somewhere in memory there's a rhythm, light steps, steady breath. Miles opened easily when I asked, splits lined up without resistance. Back then, running felt simpler. The watch still counts, but the body answers differently. Recovery speaks more often. Pacing changed, longevity rewrote the rules, but the rhythm never vanished. Sometimes on disappear. It waits inside the miles, not demanding, not chasing, just reminding who ran before. The younger runner chased seconds today. I chase years, miles that last longer than one result. Consistency over speed. The rhythm returns in quiet moments when the road feels familiar, not the same, but close enough. The pace I remember runs beside me, sometimes ahead, sometimes behind, but always part of the runner I became. Speed fades, but rhythm learns to stay. Still exists inside the breath, inside the stride, not faster, just deeper through years of running. The road continues, and somewhere inside it, that pace remains. Somewhere back there, a faster version of me exists. Different stride, lighter breath, miles used to open when I asked. Splits answer without negotiation. Back then, speed felt normal. Today the road feels different. The watch still counts, but the body asks questions. Pacing change, recovery matters. Longevity rewrote the contract. But sometimes on certain miles, I feel it just ahead. The ghost of my PR still running that old rhythm. The ghost of my PR runs beside me, not mocking, not waiting, just reminding who I was and who I still might be. The younger runner chased numbers, today I chase staying. Miles that last years, not minutes, consistency over speed. The ghost never fades, it appears on good days, quietly pulling one stride forward. The ghost of my PR still moves through memory, through muscle, not demanding, just present in every honest mile. Maybe it was never a rival, maybe it was always a reminder. The ghost of my PR doesn't haunt, it guides, not faster, just farther. Through years, through miles, through patience. Somewhere ahead, I still see that runner. day matters. Shoes by the door, watch on the table. Morning air waiting quietly. The run hasn't moved yet, but something already shifted. Years ago, I believed a run began with movement. Tap, start, chase the numbers. Split by split, but time taught something quieter. A run begins before the miles, before the pace, before the rhythm. It begins in a decision most people never see. The moment a run starts is silent, no crowd, no countdown, just a runner standing still, choosing to go. Recovery days reshape patience, holding back is discipline. Progress hides inside repetition, inside the habit of returning again. Miles will follow inevitably, but identity forms earlier. Before movement, before effort, before fatigue. Ooh, the moment a run starts is simple, a quiet step toward the door. Nothing heroic, just showing up again. The world sees distance, but runners know the real start happens before the road. The moment a run starts is invisible. Before the watch, before the mile, before the rhythm, a runner already decided to move. The door opens, the watch begins, but the run started earlier. The road hasn't started yet. Watch still quiet on my wrist. Shoes tied tight enough, breath steady but undecided. No pace, no data, just a moment standing still, yeah. Years ago I rushed this part. Tap, start and chase numbers, but time teaches patience, longevity, adjust the rhythm. Now I stand longer before the watch begins. Running isn't built inside the miles, it's built in the quiet before them. Discipline forms early. Before the watch starts, a runner is already chosen. Before the pace, before the splits, before fatigue arrives, the decision was already made. Recovery days taught restraint, holding back is skill. Progress rarely shouts, it grows through repetition, through ordinary returns. Morning air, empty streets, no witnesses, just routine becoming identity. Miles will come, but the runner was decided earlier. Before the watch starts, the story has The hardest moment is quiet, standing before start. Before the watch starts, the runner exits. Before the miles, before the fatigue, the road only confirms what was already chosen. But the runner was ready earlier. Another run without witnesses. Shoes on asphalt, steady but slow. No race ahead, no urgency. Just the quiet habit of showing up. The legs remember yesterday's fatigue. The mind suggests a shorter route. Negotiations begin. Years ago, pace was everything. Seconds mattered, splits defined the day. Now distance speaks differently. Longevity rearranged the rules. Restraint guides the stride. Consistency writes the story. Most miles live unseen. No headlines for returning. Just quiet effort day after day. Identity forming through repetition. Tired stride forward. Recovery days taught patience. Holding back became discipline. Progress hides inside restraint. The road rewards those who remain. No spectacle, no noise, just miles stacking quietly. Persistence, but the road keeps record of every return. And again, the runner heard it, a simple, nice run. Nothing heroic, but enough to carry another mile. It's mostly and again, the runner heard it, a simple, nice run. Nothing heroic, but enough to carry another mile. Running is mostly, running is mostly. Running is mostly, running is mostly. That entire dialogue. Because sometimes the runner hears it and the road changes. Fatigue softens, distance opens. Not faster, just farther. One voice, one stride. The run continues. The road was quiet, just my steps. Rhythm of breath, steady but tired. No crowd waiting, no finish line, just another mile inside the routine. The mind counting small discomforts, the body asking for negotiation. Today felt longer than usual. Years ago I chased speed, split times to find a run, but distance changes the rules. Longevity asks for patience, ego fades, pacing remains. Consistency takes the lead. Most runs pass unnoticed, no applause for showing up. Miles built slowly, day by day. Invisible work, quiet progress. This is where runners are shaped. Then suddenly, the sound of encouragement, not loud, not dramatic, just a voice from the side of the road. And something shifts, a tired stride finds rhythm again, because sometimes one voice is enough. Recovery taught a different strength, holding back is also skill. Progress hides in restraint. The road rewards those who stay, no rush, no spectacle, just a long conversation with effort. Most people will never see the discipline behind a runner. Morning miles unrecorded, evening runs unnoticed, but the road remembers every return. And sometimes the sound of encouragement arrives quietly, a simple keep going. Nothing heroic, but enough to carry the next mile. Running is mostly silence. Wind, footsteps, breath, but when a voice breaks that silence, the road feels lighter. The sound of encouragement travels farther than expected, through fatigue, through doubt, until a runner finds another stride. Not faster, just farther. One voice, one mile. One voice, 1 mile. One voice, 1 mile. One voice, 1 mile. The run continues. Some runs begin without conviction, shoes tied, but the mind still negotiating. The body remembers yesterday's fatigue, a quiet debate between staying and stepping outside. The clock says go, but the will hesitates. Years ago I chased seconds, split times, measured everything. Now the numbers feel distant, pacing change, restraint replaced impulse. Longevity quietly rewrote the rules. No one waits for this run, no crowd expects it, just another morning, another road. Consistency unnoticed, miles stacking in silence, identity built teach patience. Progress hides inside repetition. Most miles look ordinary, but ordinary is where staying happens, where runners are quietly formed. No headlines for discipline, no medals for returning tomorrow, but the road keeps record of every time I showed up, even when no one noticed. Then suddenly one voice matters, a simple keep going from the side of the road, and the distance ahead no longer feels so heavy. Running is mostly conversation with yourself, but every now and then someone interrupts the doubt, and the road opens again. Because sometimes voice matters more than pace, more than pride, just enough to remind a runner why he stayed. One voice, one step, the run continues. At first it was a challenge, a number on a screen, a race to chase a version of someone I had seen. Miles were just a ladder up towards something new, proof that I was changing, proof that I could do. Shoes were just equipment, runs were just a task, a way to earn a moment, a way to answer ask. But something slowly shifted. The races came and faded, the records came and went. Some seasons felt electric, some quietly were spent. But Tuesday still kept coming, the road still called my name, and somewhere in those miles I stopped playing the game. The effort stopped performing, the running stopped pretending. A habit turned to rhythm, a rhythm turned to thread, and slowly through the seasons it stitched the life I led. No single run defined it, no medal held the key. It grew across the years until it grew in me. This is the long identity, not one bright race a day, but years of quiet choices that never went away. This is the long identity, a rhythm I became, not something I performed, but something in my name. This is the long identity, still forming as I go, a life shaped mile by mile more than I used to know. There were years I ran faster, there were days I ran far, there were nights I believed that speed defined who we are. But time changed the question, the miles changed the frame. It wasn't how fast are you, it was why stay in the game, why lace the shoes again when no one's watching you. Because the road remembers the quiet work you give, because the miles reveal the way you choose to live, because somewhere between the start and finish line you stop chasing a title and realize it's mine, not borrowed, not temporary. This is the long identity, fragile, it's something that can stand. If I'm still stepping forward, still choosing open ground, then the runner I became is something I have found. This is the long identity, a road that never ends. Not just a younger version, but the life the running bends. This is the long identity, still forming quietly. Not the fastest story, but the truest one for me. Not just a runner, a life shaped by running. There were years I ran faster, there were days I ran far. There were races that felt like I'd outrun who we are. Crowds at the finish, numbers on screen, proof for a moment of what it could mean. Back then it felt like the title was earned, when the stopwatch agreed and the effort had burned. But time changes frames and miles explain. Now some runs are slower, some shorter too. Some start with doubt before they're through. No crowd waiting at the final bend, no record broken to recommend. Just breath and road and steady shoes, and the quiet choice I still refuse to stop, to leave. A runner isn't made by the fastest day, not by the medal or what crowds say. A runner is built in smaller ways, in ordinary returning days, when motivation fades, but you still go. I'm always a runner, not just when I win, not just when the miles feel light within. I'm always a runner, even when pace is slower now than another phase. I'm always a runner, because I choose to lace the shoes I could refuse. Some seasons strong, some seasons thin. Some weeks feel like starting again, but something deeper still remains. A rhythm built through quiet lanes. Not chasing youth, not chasing fame, just staying inside the longer game. And that alone means something. Speed can fade, that's honest truth, but running isn't owned by youth. It lives in choice and showing up and filling one more cup of effort, breathe, and patience stride. I'm always a runner, even tonight, on quiet roads without the light. I'm always a runner, not defined by the watch or finish line. I'm always a runner, because I stay when easier paths pull away. One day the pace may fall again, legs a little heavier now and then. But if I'm still stepping out the door, still feeling that familiar pull, then the tidal holds no matter the speed. I'm always a runner, that's the truth. Not locked inside a moment of youth. I'm always a runner, year by year, through quiet miles.
of holding pace, of widening track, of chasing miles that never trend, of quiet loops without an end, of winter runs no cameras catch, of summer heat that humbles match. The game grew longer than I thought. The long game runner thinks in years, not in applause or sudden cheers. The long game runner knows the art of pacing mind as well as heart. Not every day is meant to win. Some days are built just to stay in. I'm a long game runner built to last, not chasing shadows from the past. I'm a long game runner step by step, through quiet miles and honest sweat. I'm a long game runner, not a spark, but a steady flame in the dark. I've watched the fast ones rise and fade, seen bright careers briefly display. No shame in speed, I still respect the fearless youth, the bold effect. But I'm building something wide, a road that years can still provide, a rhythm older than the race. Longevity is quiet power, brick by brick, hour by hour, restraint is strength, patience too, knowing when to not pursue. The long game runner reads the frame and doesn't play a shorter game. I'm a long game runner, years ahead, not just chasing one bright thread. I'm a long game runner, still in stride, through changing pace and shifting tide. I'm a long game runner, calm and clear, choosing miles year after year. One day speed will soften more, that's the truth I can't ignore. But if I'm still lacing shoes, still choosing runs, I didn't lose. The scoreboard fades, but this remains a life shaped through quiet lanes. I'm a long game runner, that's my way, not just today, but every day. I'm a long game runner, still becoming, still learning, still running. I'm a long game runner, and that's enough for the story I'm building. Not the fastest, still in the race. The run hasn't started yet, shoes still by the door, the road outside unchanged. But the decision already happened, before the watch, before the pace, before the first step. Running doesn't create identity, it reveals it. The quiet choice to show up again, even when nothing waits, no crowd, no result. Anyone can run once, motivation is temporary, but consistency's a decision made long before. Identity is chosen before the run, before the miles, before the sweat, before the doubt. A runner is built in the moment they decide to go. Some chase speed, some chase distance, some chase silence. The road accepts them all, but the runner already knows why. They tie the shoes so progress rarely looks heroic. Just ordinary days, repeating patience over spectacle, longevity over noise. Identity is chosen before the run, not by pace, not by applause, but by returning again and again. The world sees the miles, but the runner knows the moment before the door that
existed.